Hello, my name's Holly Mackay. I'm Managing Director of the Platforum. I've come to London's iconic Gherkin building to catch up with David Tiller from Standard Life. This week, Standard Life has announced it's added a discounted 290 clean funds to its platform. I asked David what this means for customers of Standard Life Wrap. David, thanks for joining me.
Good morning.
News out from Standard Life this week, David, on clean share classes.
Yes, this week we've made our announcement about the terms we've agreed with fund groups after the prolonged negotiations through 2013, beginning of 2014. I'm really pleased to say that we've got 13 major fund groups on. The funds which they have offered terms on cover over or around about 10 billion of assets on the platform, so that's really significant coverage. We've already converted 2.2 billion of assets into these funds. By the summer we'll have 6.5 billion, and I think the key thing to look at here is the customer saving, and you know, that's £6 million going back into customers' pockets rather than being kept by the industry.
And how many funds does this cover?
We're talking about 290 funds.
And why do you think more platforms haven't done this or gone down this route, David?
Well, I think it's quite hard to negotiate with the fund groups. Standard Life is in the fortunate position that we've had discounts for a long time. So what we've done is try to replicate those discounts which we got in rebates in a clean environment.
Some might say that 13 feels a little low. Are you disappointed in the number of groups you've negotiated successfully with?
No, not at all, because we've got major groups and we've got the groups which are whose funds are actually used by our advisors, and that was always our goal. It was about coverage of assets. So it's not about getting small boutique funds and trying to get deals on them. It's about getting the mainstream funds that advisors actually use. And
what does this mean for customers of Standard Life Wrap?
Well, basically, they get a clean fund at a lower price than they get elsewhere. So, and when I say a lower price, we've measured it on OCF or TER, which is the true total cost of investing. So it's not just a lower EMC; it's actually a lower price. In total, you know, the customer saving is over £6 million a year, so you know it's not to be sniffed at. And
so, if it's so advantageous and desirable, why again do you not think all the platforms out there have done it? Some are still saying they're not sure if from a TCF perspective they're allowed to do it.
Well, I think coming into this year, every platform started in a very different place. As a platform, we were very fortunate that because of the work we've done with RDR with our advisors, we already had 70% of advisors and advisor charging. Now, one of the consequences of moving from bundled to unbundled is unbundled doesn't support trail commission. So if we had had only 10% on advisor charging and 90% on trail commission, it would have been a much harder exercise. As it is, we're now just about 100% advisor charging. So it's not just that our platform is 2016 ready. You can see the advisors who are working with us are also 2016 ready.
Finally, I put it to David that there's a view out there that platforms are becoming a commodity, that price is converging, and in a few years' time they're actually all going to look pretty similar. Is this a view that he buys into?
I think there is an element of that. I mean, we've all got to become clean and transparent, and you know, it's a journey every platform's going to have to do. We just happen to be at the forefront of doing this, but by 2016, that's where the industry will be. So I can see what's driving those comments. I think on the flip side, though, there will still be quite strong differentiation about the ability of platforms to support different business models, to more sophisticated requirements from advisors, greater business efficiency. Not all platforms, for example, will get discounts on the fund deals, so there's be differences in pricing too. So yes, to an extent, I suppose, is my answer to that question.
And in terms of the investment front, I know there's sort of news out this month from Standard about a DFM panel.
Yeah, well, investment is really, really important to us, and it's one of the areas we really seek to differentiate from other platforms. We've invested heavily in developing our investment capability. The DFM panel is part of that, so we've made 12 top DFMs available through a panel. They actually trade on the platform. They have their own direct access to the platform, so there's no faxing of deals or anything. It's fully COBS compliant reporting, proper benchmarking.
How does that go down at Standard Life Wealth? There's got to be some tension there.
Well, Standard Life Wealth are part of that panel, and I think they've got to look at it a bit like jewellery shops. You know, you put your new jewellery shop on Bond Street, you don't put it out in the suburbs.
I'm delighted for once there's a jewellery analogy instead of a car analogy. David Tiller, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Holly.
I think we might use that.